How's it going, guys? So in November of 2023, Crunchyroll released their Geass collection, a collection that pissed me off to the point where I actually made a video in February of 2024, obviously, discussing why I think it was really bad, and I think I used a lot of choice words in describing my sentiments towards the product. This is a collection that no one asked for, brings nothing new to the table despite the numerous content that we still don't have, wrapped in the most ridiculous package I've ever seen. A package that is clearly compensating for the lack of new content. The fact that people actually praise this makes me wonder sometimes. I would be surprised if they sell all 3,000 copies, especially considering this came out in December of last year and they still haven't sold out.
This is an anime collector's dream.
You'd think so, but you'd be wrong.
Spoken by someone out of touch with reality, because this is a nightmare of a collection. A monument of everything that is wrong with how this IP is handled. The people behind this should be ashamed of themselves. We the fans deserve better than this garbage. Don't waste your money on this. The economy is not great these days, so instead spend it on things that actually matter. One of my issues with it was the fact that it was overpriced and that all the products that it gives you are not worth it, because at the end of the day, I think we needed more anime stuff and not so much just random gimmicks like a USB or a necklace or even the whole display case for the different Blu-rays, which, as you guys know, don't have any new content, meaning that if you bought this collection and you already own the same Blu-rays, that means you just bought the same thing twice. Now, as I predicted, they didn't sell every copy of this collection. At first, I thought they did, but recently they showed more copies in the store from the warehouse, I guess. So they're trying to clear out the rest of their supply of this product. And that makes sense because it was $540 initially. So who's going to pay $540 for a very mid collection, in all fairness? But then the collection went down to $400 and some people jumped in then. Then on Black Friday, which I believe would have been like the 1 year release of this product, it went down to $200, then went back up to $400, I think, and now it's back to $200, and it's probably going to stay that way until they sell their remaining products. So I was looking at the Crunchyroll store and saw that the product is still there at $200, and I figured with a discount of over 60% of the initial retail price, hey, why not? I'll go purchase the product and give it a review, because my review was more my initial reaction and thoughts to other people opening the product and of course reading the description. But it might change if I actually look at the product myself, firsthand. So in this video, I'm going to review the Geass Crunchyroll collection and determine once and for all if this thing is worth your money or was as bad as I initially thought. Let's get started. So here is the Geass Crunchyroll collection, and I will say initially this thing is a lot heavier than I thought it was going to be. I figured the construction would be kind of cheap, and it seems to be okay so far. I haven't really opened it up yet, but just holding it, and obviously you saw me take it out of the box, it was heavier than I was expecting. Now there's different artwork on here, so we have Emperor Lelouch holding C2. I think that's the R2 because he has the handkerchief, and I think that's the R2. And of course, her outfit. Yeah, that's definitely R2. I don't know why I was thinking that. I don't know what I was thinking there. Here is Lelouch and Zaku in their Ashra uniforms. And the final art piece looks to be Lelouch and Zaku by the Lancelot, or the white helmet. Okay, and then nice Geass Emperor font, I guess you could say, for the title there. So you open up like this, and this is the classic artwork from R2. And this is at the end of each episode, there's a series of I guess you could say, artworks of different characters and more a fantasy type of thing. And this is one of them. Although they weren't together in their artwork, but the artwork, I believe, from each of those episodes had a depiction of each of them like this. So that's what that looks like. Gonna have to open this up by... Actually, I'm not even sure. Well, we're gonna find out together how this works. Oh, I see. You just do that. Okay. And hopefully this stand can show you everything. Okay, so this thing is extremely wide. Yeah, this is, okay, really wide. So let's go through how you engage with this display. So you can open this part up here, and you can see that the chess set comes out. This should come out completely, and that's what it looks like. I'm going to open everything up in this collection as well. I'm not going to have anything sealed. I don't give a crap. I know the value, everything will go to crap, but who cares? By the way, I didn't see a... Maybe it's in here? No, that was the instructions. Usually it's come up... Usually these things come with a letter that tells you, congratulations, you purchased the collection, and here is the number of the item you bought. But here it doesn't include that. Or maybe it's somewhere else. I don't know. Anyways, let's keep going here in this next compartment. So here's the actual chess pieces you can get that comes with the collection. It's obviously Geass themed, and the most obvious example of this is the come out here is the king piece. And although as someone who can pen flip, I can't really flip this like he can. I thought it was much bigger in the show because he literally could flip it in his fingers, and this thing is kind of tiny. It's not very show accurate unless I'm incorrect here. And the pieces seem pretty solid, although some of these are kind of chipped. This one here, you can't entirely see it from my perspective, but this one here is kind of chipped. So these are not exactly in perfect condition. And I've read in some of the forums, or not forums, the comments of this product that some of the chess pieces were kind of chipped. So there you go. There's even some, like, what is it? Some kind of white hair on here. I don't know what this is from, but so yeah, that's the chess pieces you get. They seem, like I said, for the most part, fine. Some of them are kind of chipped, but that's to be expected, I guess. This wasn't a warehouse for a while. Although you are paying over $540 retail value for this, so you expect things to not be... You would expect a little better, right? Anyway, moving on here, we have the necklace, which I still think this is so stupid. And you can open it up with this other container here. So you got a little box, and you just rip it off. Pretty straightforward. And let's just... Got a little bag here to the side, or some like bag holding the chain piece. What? It's just like, is it connected to the rubber? Do I have to, Nanja? How does this work? I'm not really that smart. It wasn't obvious. I guess you rip this part off, or you don't rip it off? Well, I already did, so too late for that, I guess. I guess there's a bag here you opened up. I'm not even really sure. Okay, so this should come out of that. So I'll get one half of this off. All right, that's great, but how do I get the necklace out? By the way, as I thought, this necklace is very cheaply put together. I had suspicions that it was, and after holding it, yeah, this is a cheap necklace. Completely unnecessary as well. This is like the biggest fluff piece in this whole set collection. Okay, so it comes off here. And yeah, this thing, I think this is metal, or it could be really cheap plastic or strong plastic. The gem is, I don't like mean, but it looks like you bought at the dollar store and put it on there. Let's wear it for a second, see how this looks. I've got a big neck and a big face. Okay, you guys haven't noticed. So maybe I'll wear it for streams for luck on summons, but on Lost Stories. Other than that, though, yeah, this thing is. I feel like if I tried hard enough, I won't do this. Of course, I could probably bend this with ease. After seeing it in person, this is definitely one of the worst parts of the entire thing. It just seems very cheap. Now, one thing I did incorrectly here, which I'm sure people are going to point out, is that I put this thing in the wrong direction, so I'm going to have to, it's going to be a little hard to take it out now because of my stupidity. This is the Lancelot USB, and does this even work? Should I find out? Let's find out if this works or not. All right, so here is my Windows Explorer. I'm going to plug the Lancelot official key USB into my computer and see what happens. Okay, you heard the sound. And here it is, USB-H. It's not even named Lancelot Key. Really, guys? And it has approximately 60 gigs. So it works. Something, I guess. Let's move on now to showcasing the rest of the collection. All right, so now we are back to the collection here, and this is the top angle, so you can see exactly what it looks like from that perspective. Unfortunately, because this thing is so gigantic and also wide in the way it's constructed, it's very hard to get one camera angle to show you everything. So I have to constantly switch, as you see here. So here's the top portion of it. Now, one thing I don't like about this collection is that if you want to display this artwork, which you can't see that well here, but you saw it before, of Lelouch and Suzaku, you have to make sure that these things here are in the right position for this to stand up. Unless my collection is faulty, I don't know. All I'm saying is that it's very hard to showcase all of this at one time because of its construction. So if I would just leave it like this, right, what's going to happen is it's going to fall over. And if you want it to stand up, you have to make sure that these things are in position to keep it up. But then you can't showcase the whole collection. So it's kind of bullshit. Even though you only see my hands, just understand this is really frustrating. Anyhow, showcasing the rest of the stuff here. So we lift up the symbol here for the Black Knights. Actually, yeah, it's the Black Knights. I don't know why I thought it was Britannia. No, that's the Black. And you can see the DVD, or Blu-ray collection rather. And this is the entire film, or all 4 films. See, movies 1 through 4. This is what the back looks like. I'm going to open everything later on, just giving you a quick sneak peek at what to expect. But this is where the films go. It has films 1 through 4 on Blu-ray. No, it's not English dubbed. I know people wanted that. It's never going to happen, okay? Well, Resurrection's dubbed, but the rest of it's not. So that's the films here. Try to keep this open, but it closed on me. So this thing, again, this could be just my collection, but it looks like these panels are very tight, and it just slams it every single time. See? Come on, stay open, but it won't do it. I'm afraid to push too hard here because then it might break the damn collection. So there's that. This is the Akito collection. So here we go. This is the whole Blu-ray. I actually need this collection. I'm missing episodes 4 and 5, or OVA 4 and 5 in the Blu-ray version. So I actually did need this. I'm glad I got it. I also don't own this collection in general, so that's great too. In fact, for the film collection, I only have the first 2 Blu-ray that I got through very legal means, of course, but I don't have the third one. I had to get it from my library, and it was low quality. And then, of course, the big one, which is the Ashford section. Not sure why they made it like that. But here is the original anime in all its glory. Pretty cool. I'll open this later on, and I'll compare it to the other collection I have, that I purchased rather, many, many years ago. It looks okay. It says TR and ST. Oh yeah, because it turned in stage. I think it means because, so right here, it says ST and TR. I assume it means turn and stage. I could be wrong though. And again, pretty nice artwork, right? Nothing like crazy, but at least it looks better than the cover of the other Blu-ray collection that Funimation released. Still, they could have had new features, but whatever. So that's the top of it. And for some reason, like I said before, this collection here is so tight that I can't actually have this open. I can't just lift the panels up and let it do its thing. They're going to fold immediately, which really sucks. This could be one of the rejected models. I have no idea. If you guys have this collection and don't have this problem, let me know in the comment section below. But obviously I am. And okay, it looks like these 2 stay up. This one does not. All right, better than nothing, I guess. And of course, it's also funny is that if you have this up, you're going to block the artwork anyway. So it's very hard to display the whole collection because the panel here is going to block the artwork, which is really funny. Another thing I wanted to mention is that, so these things here, as you saw earlier, I put in the wrong spot. And so this black thing here to help you pull it out was missing because it was facing this direction. Now, I've done QA work for, many years. And as someone who's kind of stupid, of course, I broke it as a QA tester. And I'm thinking, did anyone not realize that maybe you want to have this thing on all ends in case you put it in the wrong direction? Because as you saw, I had the chesting in the wrong area, and off camera it took me a while to actually get it out. So they should have made it where every side had this little strip here, take out the shelf in case you're an idiot like myself and you put it in the wrong direction. Or worse, what if you rip it off by accident? What if accidentally this comes off over years of usage? Then you're screwed. So either way you look at it, this was not a really good design decision to only have this in one area. I have to use an object to pull it out if worst comes to worst, or I'll have to go in here and make my own handles in case something stupid happens. By the way, your eyes don't deceive you. Those are Black Knight, Geass symbols, and Ashford Academy stuff. I don't know what the other thing is, but that's what those symbols are in case you're wondering. Let's move on now to actually opening up each of the things and taking a look at them. Okay, so back to the collection. I'm going to take out the chess set here, right? And this time I'm going to put it in the correct way, like the case back in the correct way, because the shelf rather, because I don't want it to be hard to take out again. Still though, it should have been done in a way where it didn't matter what side you put it in, it should be fine either way. Okay, I'm going to try my best to cut through this without damaging the chessboard, because gee whiz, I wouldn't want to do that. The value of this thing is now officially gone. Well, that depends. We'll see what happens in 100 years from now if I'm still here. Or I should say even 20 years. So here's the different components. It's some kind of magnetized chessboard. So to put this together, it looks like you have to take each of these things. I do apologize if the thing readjusted, the camera I mean. And you simply... Man, the space you need for this to show this off is insane. So that was a chess set, and I believe everything else is already open, right? That's the chess pieces, the necklace we took out, and then that crappy USB. Okay, now to the Blu-rays. Let's start with the films. So here's what it looks like. I'm now gonna open this baby up and destroy all the value it has, if it had any to begin with. Come in. Okay, there we go. And looks like you have to, it comes out like this. Huzzah. So we got the first film artwork, you got the third film artwork, then you have the second film artwork, and then you have Resurrection, the back. Now, for comparison, this is the Blu-ray / DVD collection I bought many, many years ago. That's what the back looks like, and this is what the back looks like of this collection. Now, if I open this up further, you have to take the discs out, so there's actually like this little cover that goes on top of it. So throw that aside. Here is the actual case collection, whatever. And let's open this up. Here we go. That says initiation. And then we flip again. Cheap case, of course, because you're only paying $540 for this thing. Glorification and transgression. And then it says here, resurrection, feature film, and some special features. Do the rest of these say special features? Yeah, apparently Glorification, which is the film I don't actually have on Blu-ray, has special features. So I'm curious to see what that's about. Don't get your hopes up though. And that's the entire thing. It looks like, there's also case artwork too. You can see Lelouch, and then if I flip it to the other end, you can see he's in the Emperor's outfit, looks like. Or I should say it's a Zero costume putting on the Emperor outfit. So not exactly the most impressive case, but it showcases the artwork for all the movies. Now let me put this back in the way it was supposed to be done. So you take the cover case and then you put this above just to get this damn thing on. Come on. There we go. All right. Then I gotta take this part here, and I guess it doesn't matter which direction. Yeah, it seems to be the same no matter what. Okay, whatever. So in the steel plate version, I think it's called steel plate, of the Resurrection collection, it had both the Blu-ray and DVD. Anyway, this is obviously much nicer. And this, by the way, is really expensive. It's like $350, I think, on eBay, which is insane to me. I bought this for like $18 years back. If I had known that it would have been that expensive, I would have probably bought 50 of these, held on to them sealed, and sold them off and made maybe $10,000. But hey, I'm not that smart. After all, I bought this collection, right? This also has the Funimation thing where you can play the movie digitally on your Funimation account, but Funimation is dead, so that's kind of pointless. Unless it transfers to Crunchyroll, which I doubt it does. And I wouldn't watch it there anyway, I have it digitally anyhow. So yeah, that's the Resurrection film collection compared to the films you get from this collection. So that's that. Let's move on now to Akito. Out. Here we go. So right, back to this again. A damn glare. Okay, anyways, back to this again. Plastic off to destroy all the value this thing has. So now the plastic is off, and it should just come out, right? Come on now. It's jammed in here. I don't want to... I hate using my nails to take this out because I know it's going to damage the case. Please. Okay, there we go. So I believe this is our work for the last OVA. I think this is the third OVA since that's when this happened. This, I believe, is the second OVA, and this is the first OVA artwork. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comment section below. Now, just like the films, again, you have to take off the cover art. That's going to reveal the same artwork, so nothing new there. And then when you open it up, This is just like the Blu-ray collection that the other one I had, or that Funimation released, in terms of like how it's presented. You have the 2 discs with some special features. There's not many special features for this OVA. And of course, we still don't have the picture dramas, which do exist. They're on the Japanese release of Akito the Exiled. A friend of mine gave them to me. It's, of course, not subbed, but hey, it's better than nothing. I'm just really confused why they couldn't release this with the picture dramas subbed. Would that have been a lot of work? Is there licensing issues? I just don't get it. Anyways, if I take the discs out, there's artwork of Layla and some kind of creature. I don't know. One second. Let me get these out real quick. Hopefully discs aren't damaged. I actually do need these for something. So it looks like it's like Shin Hyuga, and then there's Layla here, some kind of dragon. In fact, let me take both discs out while I'm here. How's this look? It should be brand new. From your point of view, that was probably silly. Like, man, I was staring at a disc. I really miss the Bandai fun art they put on the discs. Here, this is so boring. It's just black with the name of the show. But the Bandai collection had like actual art of the characters on each of the discs. That's what happens when something that had a lot of love and passion put into it, company-wise, has to give up their product to someone who doesn't have the same level of passion. You get less interesting products. Anyways, this is the full artwork. Damn glare. Okay, hold on. There we go. Hope you guys can see that. It's pretty cool. Even though, again, the disc art is pretty lame. Special features, very limited. And now I officially have the entire series on Blu-ray, although they haven't released Rose Other Recapture. So when that comes out on Blu-ray, which it may never, then I could have every single Code Geass anime on Blu-ray. Something tells me, though, that's probably never going to happen. Okay, so I'm going to put this back to where it belongs. Get in there. My God, just go. This is so frustrating. Okay, and finally, the most important thing, what made the show, or I should say the IP, the original anime, Lelouch the Rebellion. I think this artwork is from R1, and this is R2, because you see the Knights of the Round, and of course the different Zero outfit. I don't know about the other sides though, but yeah, so there's that. So here's what it looks like after you've taken the plastic off. Not much difference, of course. Here's what the original Blu-ray collection looked like from Funimation. This is the one that has both of them at one time. I don't have them individually by season. I bought this instead for like 20 bucks. It was on sale on Amazon many years ago. Now it's like 200 something, I would say. That's the difference. Obviously, this is much bigger, but the content is about the same. So now let's open this up. The box is nice, I suppose. We'll start with R1. And so we got Lelouch and Suzaku for all those Lelouch and Suzaku shippers, which there's quite a lot of you guys out there. Or the people just like them as friends, obviously. And then we got Lelouch and C2. Now let's take the cover off here. And actually, unlike the other ones, it comes up pretty easily. And then let's give it a crack open here. And you can see the different discs. There's also this artwork of Colin, C2, and Suzaku. And if I flip all the way to the other side, you can see Lelouch there. That's kind of cool. I think the discs have the royal, that Code Geass font, and I assume that this is new to this. I don't know if the original collection had that. Let's take a look. So here is the original collection, and as I suspected, let me just flip that real quick. It doesn't have the same font. Same black disc cover though, of course, with the name of the show, but it doesn't have that interesting Code Geass font on any of the titles. So that's what this looks like. And then again, back to this. This is more yellow too. The other one was kind of orange.
So what they said about orange was true, huh?
Orange, you say? That is the name of my loyalty.
Does that really matter? No, but if you were curious, that's the major difference. Okay, so let me put these aside here. Then we move on to the R2 disc. So first, the artwork is of Suzaku, Anya, and Gino. I don't know why Gino's name escaped me there. And then you have C2, Colin, and Lelouch as the artwork. The discs again have that same yellow text with the new font for the Blu-ray description. Other than that though, it's basically the same thing as before. Oh, and then the cover art has this famous one of Lelouch in the Emperor outfit, Zaku as the Knight of Zero. And then the back of it is Rolo, Lelouch, and Suzaku. Overall, I mean, it's not much worse than we got in the past in terms of Funimation, but obviously it's worse than what Bandai gave us, which was such a beautiful collection, and it's a damn shame we'll never get anything like that again. Okay, so now we get to my final thoughts on this product. And so the question becomes, is this monstrosity worth it? right? And I can tell you that after going through it, my answer is mostly no, but there is some yes to it. So let's get into that. First of all, the cons of this product, since we'll start with the cons, right, is this thing, this box, it's very cheaply put together. Obviously it has some weight to it, and the shells are decently crafted, I suppose, but there's a lot of problems with this thing that I showcased early on. For example, this thing here, this flap that showcases the films, it doesn't close properly, or I should say open properly, so I had to use these master locks to keep it up there, which is really frustrating. This thing here, I have my FMA manga collection putting in some work to keep this from not falling over, otherwise it would. And also, if you lift up this panel here to, I guess, showcase this in the way it was intended, using the panels like a back for it, then it's going to cover up the artwork. So you can't really showcase this thing properly without covering something up. So that's obviously a con. This thing is extremely flimsy. This entire box is just, I don't feel real comfortable of consistently opening and closing this thing, which is why I probably won't be to keep it somewhat in good condition. The chest pieces, like I mentioned before, while they do look great, they are, if I can't one out, for God's sakes. Look at that. See? Everything fell on me. Awesome. Anyways, back to chest pieces. While they do look great, I just think they are smaller than the size in the show. So it's not really up to scale, but at least it looks like how it did in the show. The Lancelot key is probably the thing I use the most often because it does have 60 gig. It could have been terabyte though, but whatever, a gig it is. I'll see how it does for file transferring down the road, but it's somewhat practical. I like practical things. This necklace is awful in both design, the material, just everything about this. This could have been literally anything else. I'll wear it for luck on summons, that's about it. The Blu-ray collection is the only thing good about this thing. See, it can't even stand up. Whatever. The Blu-ray collection is the only thing good about this. The chess set is fine, although I don't have many friends that play chess with these days. So maybe I won't be using it that much, but conceptually, sure, it folds up nicely, although you don't get a suitcase to put it in like Lelouch had in the show. That would have been kind of cool, but of course we can't have nice things. We're Geass fans. Then beyond the Blu-rays, or not beyond, but I want to mention something else before I go back to that. The artwork in general on here is really good. I'm not going to spin it around again. I'll probably show artwork in post of this box is nice. However, you could have just had art cards for that. You didn't have to put it on the box itself. It's just an unnecessary thing they decided to do. Thematically, it's nice to have all the symbols from the show on there, but it wasn't really necessary. Also, notice how this thing is now. I mean, look at this. It's very flimsy. Very, very, very flimsy box. Unless I was lucky enough to get a crappily made one. Now, in terms of the Blu-rays themselves, this is the only reason why I would recommend buying this collection for $200. Not $540, not $540, but $200, because if you don't have this collection or this, yeah, it's a collection, right? Collection of the Resurrection discs, the original anime, Akito, and the films, you might want to consider it because the price for those products is really expensive. Like I mentioned, this is like $350. So if you don't have any of that, then sure, I can see an argument to be made why it'd be worth going for this collection at $200. Just note, to restate this again, you will not get the Crunchyroll subscription if you purchase the product now, which makes you realize they shouldn't have had that in the first place, and the price coming down from the get-go, and it didn't have to be $500. And of course, I should also mention that all the Blu-ray discs only have the same content as before, so you're not getting anything new with these that you wouldn't have gotten with these. Essentially, it's just a reprint of what came before. Now, here's the thing. If they had just released all the Blu-rays in one package, and maybe they have the chessboard wrapped with it with plastic or something, and sold that for $150, they probably would have sold out everything within the first maybe 3 or 4 months. But for most people who looked at this product initially, they saw the $540 and were thinking, yeah, I might be a big Geass fan, but I'm not that big of a fan that I would spend $540 on a collection that doesn't bring anything new to the table in terms of the Blu-ray releases. It's just the same stuff, and the extra stuff doesn't seem worth it to me. Again, this and the artwork on the back here, it could have just been art card. They could have just re-released all the art cards from the previous Geass Blu-ray collection for the original series, Akito, the films, and so forth. They could have also released maybe an art book instead of this crap. Because when I see stuff like this, all I think is fluff. It's just fluff. Fluff. Art book, additional features, unreleased content, obviously be released now, interviews, whatever. I look at the Doctor Who collection, as I mentioned in my video, and I'm just envious they did a really nice thing for that show. And here, this is the best we can get. Maybe it's what we deserve. I don't know. I mean, there's this collection that they had for Yu-Gi-Oh! Where you could get like 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons and Kaiba's briefcase. And that was so cool because it was so iconic to the show, and each Blue Eyes was in a nice little case, like its own little case. And then obviously the briefcase itself was really nice quality. You could put decks in there at the deck box. It had Kaiba's own deck in there. That was really cool. But this ain't it, Chief. This is just a very flimsy, superfluous, over-the-top collection that clearly is big like this to compensate for the lack of anything, or any real depth, I should say, to it. So if you don't have any of the Blu-rays to code Geass and you want to collect them through actual physical copy instead of, the fun way, then this is, I guess, worth buying. But otherwise, this is pretty bad. I just can't believe how cheap some of this stuff is. And I mean, I don't know. Was this really worth $540? I think we all know the answer to that question. I mean, the only thing that has changed from my perspective from talking about it and then actually looking at it directly is that I will admit that the construction is better than what I expected, but still not exactly the best compared to other things on the market that are for other animes. So I guess that's a positive. It is heavy, but not exactly the greatest. Another thing I don't like, and it's something you probably have noticed as I've been showcasing this collection, is that because it's so large, finding room for this in my apartment is going to be very difficult. So most of the time it's going to be folded up. And also all the Blu-ray stuff, it's going to be in my cupboard. It's not going to be in here because I don't want to have to open this damn box to take it out every single time. It's not worth it. The chess set I'll keep in here because why not? The necklace won't be in here because I want to use it for streams. And this probably won't be in there either. So this box will probably be left unattended for months on end, just folded up, which makes it kind of a waste of materials too to produce. So a lot of waste in the production of this collection. I don't know what grade I would give this thing, but it's about average, a 2.5. If it was just a Blu-ray collection, I'd say 3.5, because even though it's nothing new, at least it's just the Blu-rays and nothing else. I don't have a strong recommendation for buying this, again, unless you really have to get the Blu-rays. I'm very confused as to why people were glazing this collection, saying it was some incredible feat or tribute to the fan base. I mean, I can only agree today if you think the fan base are idiots. And, well, unfortunately, based on the success of Rose to Capture, maybe that we are. I don't know. And also based on our stuff that Crunchyroll sells on this IP, yeah, they must think we really are stupid. So those are my thoughts on this collection. What are yours? Let me know in the comments section below. And I'll see you guys in the next one.